Good morning and welcome to Shamanic Sundays. Hi, Dad.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see all of you, our community members out there. My name is Kimberly Pinkson. I'm here with my dad, Dr. Tom Pinkson, who has been a real pioneering bridge builder between nature's intelligence, indigenous wisdom, and his indigenous mentors and teachers, and helping us here in our Eurocentric Western culture to bring some of that wisdom to the challenges of our times and to our lives. And so, thank you all for showing up. We hope that we can offer some good connection and grounding and inspiration for the week ahead. So, in the spirit of sacred reciprocity, because we are all connected, Dad, could you start us off with a prayer before I ask you a question?
Yeah, certainly. But let me just first check with you. I didn't see
Yeah.
usually when we start this that something comes on my screen here that says going live or something like that. And that didn't happen this time. So are we doing
I
okay?
believe we're okay, but thank you for checking. Let me just double check one thing
Sometimes it's good to
right
check
here.
things before you go.
That
Like,
is true. I did not do that with one of my technology things yesterday. Yep, we're good. We're
okay.
up.
All right. So
Yeah.
gratitude. Gratitude for
Okay.
being up.
Thanks for checking.
Oh, hey, thank you, Great Spirit. Holy Spirit. Wakantanka, sacred mystery, creator. Within us, around us, above, below, todos unidos, all united. Ancestor spirits of our familial lines and ancestor spirits of the lands where we live. Chumash here in Santa Barbara, we remember you here. Thank you for the gifts of breath flowing into us. Thank you for the gift of a human incarnation that we get to experience the beautiful creation that we're gifted to be a part of, Mother Nature. And thank you for right now. Thank you for this day, the opportunities of this day to open ourselves to your presence, great mystery, and polish up our stardust. Do that which is necessary for us to polish up our stardust so we can live from strongly connected consciously with the truth of our being. We're sacred, worthy, luminous beings. We are love, and our love is forgiving, and we are love. Shine on. Relatives listening here today and be listening in your own timing later on. Thank you for your lives, blessings for your lives, and thank you for the blessing that you are in life. Hope.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always a pleasure to be here with you. Good to see you. Good to see all of our friends out there in the community. We thanks for Carol. Like I said, you are here. Thank you. Good to know.
Hey,
Yeah, good to see you out there. Thanks for sharing where you're from, where you're come joining us from. We always appreciate that. So, this question actually came from one of our family members, and it is about your upcoming book, Wisdom Warriors: A Psychedelic Shamanic Path to Transformation. So, the question is, could you talk a little bit more about what that phrase means, a psychedelic shamanic path to transformation?
yeah, actually interesting you ask about that. That just yesterday in meditation, and it came to me to add a new word to the title. So I just sent an email, actually 10 minutes ago, to the editors at Inner Traditions, get their feedback of adding this additional word to the title, and the additional word is wounded wisdom healers. Wounded wisdom healers. And why that addition of that word? Because I think we're all wounded. I think all people are wounded in one way or another by circumstances of our lives, and especially people who were brought up, I think, in a Eurocentric conditioned belief system based on the illusionary perception of separation and the materialism and the selfishness that comes with that focus on the individual as a separate being. So we'll see. I'm curious to see what the publishers think of adding that word "wounded" to wisdom warriors. So what do I mean by psychedelic, shamanic path to transformation. Psychedelic, the word itself, refers to mind expanding. It means mind expanding. And my mind initially was expanded. First it was expanded, when I was a little boy, it was expanded through the death of my father, which expanded my consciousness to recognize there's more going on here and they all lived happily ever after, which is what I heard from the fairy tales read to me as a child. So my mind was expanded. There's more going on here. There's this medicine, I call it a medicine of death, which brings the teachings of impermanence. And we can either be freaked out about the fact that no matter what we do, we're not going to survive this life. We're all going to die. And the issue is, what's the quality of our life for while we're alive? What's the quality of our lives, our felt experience of being alive? Is it one of suffering based in fear, which comes automatically from that belief and perception of separation and identifying the totality of our being as our ego, our physical body, and all the stories that our ego cooks up from the wounds of our lives and from our conditioning, or is there more to us? Is there more to us? So psychedelic, and in my usage of it, refers to, in my case, it was psychedelics when I was 20 years old that helped me to open up and see the unconscious conditioning that I'd been imprisoned by in growing up in a Eurocentric culture with those beliefs of separation. And the values that come from that, material acquisition and power and status and feeding ego and me. So I'm using the term psychedelic to mean more than just ingesting a substance that's psychedelic, because many experiences in life can open us up to the underlying deeper reality of Allaha, of the Aramaic word from the Middle East that Jesus spoke, that means sacred unity, that recognizes that underneath the perceptions that come in through our eyes and our brain cooks up of whatever it is that we see, there's a deeper underlying reality of no thingness, from which everything comes from. Everything comes from nothing. Everything we see, that basically material stardust from exploding stars, the magnificence of all that diversity of creation is fantastic as it is. It all comes from nothing, from no thing. It comes from the cosmic vacuum and materializes on the physical plane, and we see it. We don't actually see with our eyes. We see with our mind, the lens of our mind that creates from the raw material of energy coming in through our senses the images we see in our minds that then we think of as reality. So psychedelic, as I'm using it, is reference to a consciousness, an expanded, a deepened, broadened consciousness raised to a higher level, a bandwidth of awareness that we're able to see and understand how everything is connected, that there's no such thing as a separate thing. That's Allaha, the sacred unity. We understand that and we live from it. We see it. We understand Allaha, sacred unity, and we live from that consciousness, that cosmic consciousness of our underlying interconnectedness, interwovenness with all of creation, all of being, all that has been, all that is, and will be. So that's what I mean by psychedelic. And shamanic refers to the practices that have been passed on by indigenous people. And all of us, no matter what our roots are, we go back far enough, we all of our people were living in intimate relationship with the powers of nature, and all of our ancestors knew those powers were alive, and they called them spirits by different names, and they knew that their lives were dependent on the gifts that come from those creative powers of the universe and sustain our lives. And so they paid attention to how those powers worked, those spirits worked, and learned how to be in harmony with them so life could continue on. So they developed all these practices, all these acts, all these belief systems and ways of being in relationship to the cosmic powers that give us life, powers of nature. And those practices I'm referring to as shamanic practices that help open that awareness, the bandwidth of awareness, deepen it, expand it, and raise it to recognize the truth of our oneness with cosmic consciousness. So psychedelic shamanism, utilizing of techniques to open our minds up. We don't have to ask for the presence of love. It's the essence of our being. We don't have to pray for it. We just have to open our awareness to the truth of our being, the essence of our being as love. So these practices that help us actualize a psychedelic consciousness is the pathway to transformation, transforming our energy state, transforming our mood state, transforming our experience of being alive in the moment from one of contraction and fear based on those perceptions of separation to an expanded state that's in connection with the truth of our being. Transformation, transforming fear into an experience of inner peace, transforming anxiety and depression into joy, into awareness of love's presence within us, the essence of our being, transforming an asleep state into an awakened state, remembering that we're sacred, worthy of respect, of care, of celebration, of taking good care of. Luminous beings. The essence of our being is luminosity. We're luminous beings made of stardust, fueled by stardust. And that's the gospel. That's the good news, that we are made of stardust, and the essence of our being is light. And the essence of our being is love. So the practice is to help open our awareness to the presence of the truth of who we are and what we are and why we're here, to polish up our stardust and grow those seeds of potential that are in all of us with our diversity of intelligence, of wisdom, of beauty, of creativity, and bring those gifts out into the world to help heal the sacred hoop, be able to create the kind of world we're capable of creating, co-creating with that wisdom power from great spirit that flows into us with every breath. So wounded, owning the fact that we're all wounded, the only difference amongst us as humans is, are we victims to our wounding, or are we learning how to open the doorway, the Nayarika, the doorway to the medicine that's trying to come through that wounding? Like the wounding for me is that little boy when my dad died, and the sadness and grief and all of that. But the medicine trying to come through that, which I wasn't able to realize until opening with psychedelics when I was 20 years old, was the teaching of impermanence. And everybody you love, everything you see, everything you value on the material plane is only here for a short period of time. And so, and you never know how much time you've got in the mystery of being here. And so that we can either be constricted and fear about that, oh my God, fearful and frightened and trying to protect, or use that truth of impermanence to empower us to, while I don't know how long I'm going to be here, I know I'm not going to be here forever, but I know with 100% certainty I'm here right now on this day. So I want to be as present as I can, as mindful as I can, as aware as I can with whomever I'm with, whatever I'm doing, and just like metaphorically, squeezing the grapes to get all the juice out of it, because this is the day that we're given. This is the moment we're given to experience being alive. So be present for it. Find a way of whatever is happening to open a doorway to connect with the inner peace inside of us and love inside of us, and actualize it and bring it forth into the challenges of our lives and the challenges of this time we're living in, that call us to wake up, to wise up, and live love now, and do our part to contribute to making a peaceful and just and healthy and happy and beautifully diverse win-win world. All right.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And that flows right into the
Oh, but
second F. Yeah.
interruption. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to. I wrote, emailed the publisher Inner Traditions to ask them today when the book's going to be published.
Mhm.
Waiting to hear back from them. Hopefully this year. They initially said toward the end of this year. We'll see.
Yeah.
Waiting to hear back from them. But then also for those listening, that you and I are developing a course based on the book. 7-week course on wounded wisdom warriors, a psychedelic shamanic path to transformation. So people listening can know that's on its way. We're just in the early birthing stages of it, so it's going to be a while. You know, it takes 9 months for the for the fetus to grow to fullness in the mama's womb before it comes out. So, but it'll be coming out. So,
Yeah.
no.
Hopefully it won't be 9 months, but yes, you're right. Um, and your course, the New Vision of Living course.org, is available too. That's a great one since you're throwing some shout outs to some additional content. So talking about, wounded warriors, you have a chapter in your book that's currently called The Shattering, and then another chapter called Deeper Knowing. So if you could lead us on a visualization today, little reflection and then visualization about connecting with, I'm going to say, a shattering in our life, because oftentimes there's not just one. I've heard that it's all the little shatterings that help us to open our hearts, because it's those cracks where the light gets in. So if you could guide us on a visualization about just remembering a shattering and then stepping into deeper knowing to support ourselves in the week ahead.
Shattering. So let's go inside. Invitation to bring our awareness inside and focus on that word shattering. And just to see what comes up in your awareness, in our awareness, with that word shattering. So I notice when I listen inside, take in the vibration of the word shattering, there's like things falling apart, just kind of almost like violently, and perhaps some cases violently, just shattering apart, falling apart, just kind of chaos, taking us into chaos. And of course, that's very scary. It's very frightening. It's very anxiety producing. So giving ourselves permission to feel whatever it is we feel when we think about a shattering experience in our lives. And looking at, as we breathe in and breathe out, whatever it is we're feeling or sensing in a shattering experience, remembering we're way more than those thoughts or feelings that come with shattering. We're way more than that. We're experiencing whatever it is we're experiencing, fear, anxiety, grief, freaking out, whatever it is we're experiencing with the shattering experience. But none of that's who we really are. So we're able to use our witness function, mindfully using our witness function to just notice, oh, now I'm feeling, seeing, experiencing anxiety, constriction, fear, whatever it is, just noticing it, witnessing it, remembering it's not who we are. And then with that awareness and whatever's being triggered by the shattering, just allowing ourselves to raise a question of what's trying to, or what might be trying to come through this shattering experience. Something's falling apart. Maybe something has outlived its usefulness, a belief system, an identity, a pattern, a relationship, a way of being that doesn't serve my life anymore. It's too constricting and closes my heart or limits the access I have to infinite potential, creative potential. So my my experience of your experience of being shattered, might there be something trying to come through from the mystery, from the infinite mystery, that's going to more fruitfully, more powerfully, more beautifully serve my life now? Something seeking to be born. Maybe it's the mystery saying you were dreaming too small. You need to open your dream up of what's possible. In order for that to happen, the old form had to be released, had to be let go of, had to die, had to be shattered, because the new growth, it's like the woman, the pregnant woman with the sacred gift of life in her, when she's been impregnated in those 9 months of the fetus growing to where it's ready to come out, that journey down the birth canal. So the waters have to break first. There has to be a release of the comfort of the 9 months in the womb, the inner sanctuary. There has to be a release of that. It has to be shattered, so the baby can come down through the birth canal and out into this middle world. For the new to come through, we have to let go of the old, and therein is the shattering. So whatever shattering experience comes into your mind, asking yourself the question, what is it? What might be the medicine, the teaching, trying to come through this shattering, this what might be trying to be birthed in awareness, insight, understanding, empowerment of how to live more fully attuned and aligned in integrity and authenticity of heart and soul, that wants to be born inside of me, opening to a bigger dream, a bigger dreaming of who and what I really am, more than my ego identity and its stories and the impacts of all of those wounds, all of which need to learn how to be worked with skillfully to open that doorway, so that the medicine that's trying to come through that shattering can come through. We can get it in our awareness. We can make a good home for that teaching, that medicine, and then try as best we can in our humanness to honor that teaching and that medicine. Like for me, the shattering of that took place inside of me with my dad's death. And over time, and with the help of medicine and all kinds of therapy and healing modalities, to use the teaching of impermanence to empower full, heartfelt living, walking heart path to completion, showing up each day that I'm given to be as present as I can with the people and situations that present themselves, and recognizing and remembering to wake up and wise up and live love now and do the best I can with whatever the person and situation interaction is, because this is my life right now in this moment. That's all we ever have right now, this sacred moment. And so the opportunity in being alive in the moment is, and with our shattering experiences, is to get that medicine teaching, trying to come through it and do the best we can to apply it, integrate it into our lives on this day that we're given. And so for each of you hearing these words now and paying attention and noticing what comes up inside of you and your own awareness around this issue of being shattered, of being wounded in this life, I want to thank you for the inner strength you have, the resilience you have, the resources inside of you that you have through grace that have helped you come through and survive your experience of being shattered. You have available to you a deep inner strength through grace. There's nothing to do with ego. It's a deep inner strength through your connection with spirit. Making a good home inside of yourself, which means treating yourself in a respectful way, a caring way, a way of honoring the sacredness of who you are, the miracle of your life, of being alive, being able to see, hear, feel, think, reflect, dream, to wake up, remember who you are, remember what you are, remember why you're here. We have encoded within us through grace, through the creative wisdom, power, intelligence of the universe. We have codes within us, built into us as human beings, that when we learn the practices like the shamanic practices to expand our consciousness into a realization of who and what we really are, we can then walk our heart path to completion. We can use each day and each interaction and each situation as a vehicle of opportunity to wake up and to live love now. And that's what's going to enrich our lives. It's not putting off living our lives till tomorrow or next year or when Mars is in Sagittarius or whatever. But this is the day we're given. This is the day to live my values. This is the day to show up and do the best I can, to live my integrity, to live from my heart, live from my soul. So gratitude for everyone listening here, for the work you've done in your life that allows us to be joining in this way, just to polish up our stardust and support each other in waking up and remembering the truth of our being channels for healing, light, and love for the healing of the sacred hoop. May it be so. Thank you for your life. Oh, Umbrios. Right.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah.
I love what you said about dreaming into your infinite potential. That was beautiful. So may you all have good dreams and good walking into your greatest health, wealth, well-being, and so much love. Thank you. Any closing words you want to share, Dad?
Yeah, I want to show you all a picture of somebody. Can you see that?
Oh, here, let me maximize you. Hold on. Hold it up a little bit higher. No, like up toward. There you go. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is a photograph of my spiritual grandmother, my Huichol spiritual grandmother, Guadalupe. And this picture was taken maybe 10 days before she crossed over, when I and a group of others that had worked with her over the years went down to be with her for a final time before she crossed. And just look into her, the beauty within her that you can see in this photograph. Open your feeling sense, your intuitive sense to the wisdom growing in this woman, Grandmother Guadalupe. Thank you for your life. And the reason I'm showing you this picture now is because when I was doing my meditations this morning, this picture's above my altar behind me there. And and I was told through guidance to show people this picture of me, of Guadalupe. And why to do that? Many times in ceremonies and that I'm doing, Grandmother Guadalupe's spirit comes through and helps people with their challenges. So by showing her your picture, showing you her picture, it's opening a Nayarika on a very subtle level so that you also might be helped in some way with Guadalupe's spirit coming to support you, to help you, to strengthen you in meeting those challenges, creating a relationship with the challenges of your life that does open the doorway to bring through the kind of wisdom and love that you see manifesting through Grandmother Guadalupe. Oh, may it be so. Oh, Pamprios.
Thank you. I'm so grateful that I got to know her and do a little work with her and get the blessing of her energy and time with her and her teachings. And so thank you. Got a little teared up there when I saw her up close this morning. So thank you for bringing her in. And thank you to all of our ancestor spirits out there who guide us and support us and who planted seeds that we may be here today. So, yeah. Okay. Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you next week. Much love and hugs to you all. Mwah, mwah. Take care. Bye.